How is everyone? Great to have you join us. For those I haven't met yet, my name is Dinesh De Silva. I'm the founder and CEO of NetStripes. Now, this is the exclusive webinar for FBAA members. I know a lot of you have been to our webinars before. Some of you are NetStripes customers as well. So big welcome to all of you who know NetStripes. But if you are new here, a huge welcome. We are a community of business owners that are about 15,000 now. And all these business owners we work with are focused on business growth and they're focused on digital and innovation so that that helps us to grow our businesses using digital innovation, of course. Now, before I take too much of your time getting mixed up with what I'm trying to say, let's share my screen and get started. By the way, for all the FBAA members, when you attend the entire webinar, the 1 hour of it, you get a CPD point. We send a report of your attendance and how much time you spent at the webinar as well. So please follow up and make sure you get that CPD point. Now, I want to run this as an interactive webinar. So if you do have any questions, please go to the Q&A and type those questions. Now, how many of you can see my screen? Hands up if you can see my screen. Can you see the button to raise your hand? Hands up, please. Great. Thank you for all those participating. Much appreciated. Now, if you come after I introduce myself, this is me. But look, being a virtual session, a webinar, we can't meet face-to-face, but still we can connect. So let's connect through LinkedIn. If you haven't connected with me already, Jen will share my LinkedIn profile. And if you're new here, please go and do that. That would be great. Now, this is a very interesting topic, growth hacking. So how many of you have heard of growth hacking before? Hands up. Let me get a show of hands of who's heard of growth hacking before. Excellent. How many of you use growth hacking principles in your business? Okay, fantastic. I see a few hands going up. That's fantastic to hear. Wonderful, wonderful. All right. And look, if you have anything to share, please do that in the chat. I probably won't get a chance to see the chat, but if you do have any questions, go to the Q&A. All right. So growth hacking is primarily found in startups. It's a system really used by businesses who are serious about customer growth. And the effective word here is serious about customer growth. And this is about you achieving exponential growth. And if you look at these brands here, all these brands were one or two businesses, 1 or 2-person businesses. They were all founded by 1 or 2 people, and they have grown exponentially. And Airbnb and Uber and people like that, that are great examples of their growth hacking stories. Dropbox, I'll use an example here. And I used to run a 2-day webinar, 2-day seminar actually, on digital. It was called the Digital Bootcamp, and we'd go through in detail some of the examples of these companies, and we'd watch the videos. And one of the videos I used to run was when Dropbox was so small and how they had to find their way through. Another video I ran was Airbnb when they had $100 of revenue per week. They went from $100 to $200 of revenue, and it was like a shock for them. Then they went from $200 to $400. They couldn't even believe it happened, because in that $200 range, they were not growing. This is $200 a week. And they're saying 3 people had to survive from it. And they were in this $200 range without moving. And suddenly they started using growth hacking tactics, and they had this uplift of 400, and then they started growing. So that's how small they were. Like anything, a lot of the time when we see viral growth, that's just what we see at the top of the iceberg, isn't it? Okay. And there's so much more that happens underneath this. You get landing page optimization. I'll go through examples of this. You get advertising, you get SEO, you get analytics. I'll be using analytics to show you examples of it. You got to onboard your customers correctly. You got to use email marketing. User experience, or UX is for user experience, design of your landing pages, your websites, and to use buyer behavior and buyer psychology in the way you communicate, in the way you build your landing pages or your websites. And of course, public relations can be used powerfully. And we'll be using examples of all this. So who is a growth hacker? Can somebody go to the chat and tell me who a growth hacker is? Doesn't matter whether it's right or wrong. Go to the chat and tell me who is a growth hacker. Don't feel shy. I'm on the chat now. I'm waiting to see a few examples. Don't feel shy. All right. Look, in the interest of time, I won't pursue. So a growth hacker is somebody who is obsessed about growth, okay? Very good, Bora. Michael. Elon Musk is a growth hacker. Absolutely, right? And you can say Elon Musk is obsessed about growth of his business, okay? So it's about being obsessive, and the operative word there is obsessed. And if you want to really grow your business, why not be obsessed about it? If you're serious about growth, you have to be obsessed about it. But they also use a combination of modern marketing and technology to achieve the aims of the business. Now, there are some really key language here in those 3 lines. They use a combination of modern marketing. In this case, we can say digital marketing, which includes that technology. But it doesn't have to be only digital marketing. It can be, some traditional marketing means as well, because we are obsessed about growth and we will do anything and everything but to achieve the aims of the business. Now, what I mean by the aims of the business is these are the financial goals of the business, the growth objectives of the business. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, NetStripes have met about 7,000 business owners one-on-one. And we can tell you about 85% of business owners don't have clear financial goals. So if you're not clear about your financial goals, what's the point in having growth hacking? Because what are you driving towards? In here, it says to achieve the aims of the business. So your aim of the business must be very clear. And they persist until they uncover the tactics that work. And once they find, so they'll do multiple things. They'll do lots of things, and I will cover lots of the things you can do in the following slides. And they'll do everything and anything. They'll use all these tactics, try out various tactics. When they uncover the tactics that work, they throw dynamite at it, okay? And all their efforts will be focused on those tactics, okay? And these are the really crucial things when it comes to growth hacking. So this is what we are going to cover today. Have a quick read of it. I hope you've got a glass of water or something, because I'm really going to challenge you with some thoughts here. It's going to be not technical. It'll have some numbers in it, but I'm going to teach you a system that you can use. And so, by the way, for those who are new here, who's NetStripes? Very simply, we position entrepreneurs, in this case, entrepreneurs or mortgage brokers and commercial finance people, entrepreneurs and marketers to reach their business and personal goals by building industry-leading brands. And we use a dynamic mix of strategy, high conversion websites, and online marketing to do that. And everything that NetStripes does is about helping businesses catch the digital wave. And no matter which industry you are in, we have helped businesses to catch the digital wave, and our system is industry agnostic. And our vision from the time we started NetStripes has been to empower 1 million businesses. And thankfully, we all these organizations have shared our vision as we move forward. So let's go back to growth hacking. So unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, before we get into some of the more advanced stuff in growth hacking, there are some fundamentals that you need to know. Last week, I had by the way, we've also done an ebook. Jen will share where you can find the ebook on our NetStripes website. If you go to resources, and you'll find the ebooks, and you'll find a step-by-step guide to growth hacking. Download that ebook. It will be fabulous. Thank you, Jen. Really great. And so before we get into growth hacking, there are some fundamentals. I covered this in detail at the webinar we had last week. Again, that webinar will get on our NetStripes YouTube channel. Jen, when you can, share our YouTube channel as well. And in about a week's time, you'll have that webinar that I ran on creating high conversion websites. And that's crucial before we get to growth hacking. And the two principles of digital marketing is to drive the right traffic, not any traffic, the right traffic to your website, however, in the right quantities, but no point driving traffic to your website if we don't convert that traffic into leads and into sales, and it's the sales that give us customers, and customers, ladies and gentlemen, are the lifeblood of our business, because they give us repeat business, referral business, and so they are very valuable. So these are the two principles of digital marketing. NetStripes have made digital marketing very, very simple by having just two principles, boiling everything down to two principles. However, now we got to get deeper. As you know, digital marketing can be very confusing, very complicated. So many platforms, so many things to do. But if you keep it within these principles, you will master it. And before we go into growth hacking, you need to understand create your customer personas. Again, I'm running a webinar in July, but I have covered this in FBAA webinars before, where I've gone deep into creating customer personas. Why? Because most of you do customer segmentation in a very general way. You will do it, say, self-employed people, PAYG people. You will use income categories sometimes. And that is not good enough when it comes to digital. When it comes to digital, we have to get probably a way deeper and try to understand. Here, this is a game I play in based on somebody buying a bicycle, and we have road biker Bob and family biker Betty, and both these people have their needs are poles apart. But if you generalized and did segmentation the traditional way, what I'm showing through that example was we would pick one that both those people who had needs that were poles apart, but our strategy, if it was a general segmentation, would be just one person. Why? Both those people could be the same age, same gender, same income level, okay? And they probably live in the same geography as well. But their needs are poles apart, although they're women who are probably working in the same industry, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So when you generalize like this, you struggle when it comes to social media marketing, when you come to digital marketing. And these are some of the reasons why a lot of folk do not get results in digital marketing. That this is not the only reason, but this is the major reason you don't resonate with your audience. And I'll go into detail a bit later. So the most fundamental aspect of designing a successful strategy is understanding our customers and their needs. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, only a minority of the 7,000 businesses, less than 5%, have got this right. This is the 7,000 businesses my team has met one-on-one in the last 3 or 4 years. And once you've got your customer persona, you need to then understand how they buy, what their buying cycle is. What do they do when they're unaware of what their real need is? What they do when they're interested in something, and when they need it and when they're buying. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see here, 75% of any buying population lies in the unaware and interested category. 23% lies in the I need this, and 2% lies in the buying. Unfortunately, if you go and consider, most of the spending for advertising happens in here. And by the time you find a customer here, they are fully aware, they're fully educated, and this is a rate-driven or a price-driven discussion. You don't want to deal with customers here. It is a no-win situation, right? Here, it's still hard, but if you capture them there, you're in a way better position. And to do that, every business must get their content strategy right, and that's not easy to do. However, you need to think through your content strategy like this, okay? And at this stage, you can do videos and blogs, and this is how they find us. And then you educate them through ebooks, etc. I just shared an ebook. So we practice all this stuff, by the way. We run these webinars. At this stage, it's industry and product neutral information. This is about others telling how good we are, not us telling how good we are. It's only here that we talk about us. At the beginning here, if you talk about us, they're not interested. They're not even interested. They don't even know what they want. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to get this strategy stuff right, if you have questions, Jen will share a link, and this stuff we go into detail, and click and you can book a meeting with one of us, and FBWA members get access to these meetings. So growth hacking drives rapid and sustainable customer revenue growth. It focuses on lifetime value of the customers. So it's about winning customers and keeping them over a lifetime of the period. That's where the profitability lies. So if you take the mortgage broking business, if you win customers day one or year one, you get the commissions plus the trail. Next year, you might get the trail. The year after that, you might get the trail. But that in the third year or the fourth year, you will have an opportunity to refinance them. So there's opportunity to win more business. But also, if you didn't look after them in year two, if you dropped them straight after the loan, if you didn't service them in year two, year three, etc., you don't get that opportunity to refinance because somebody else would have refinanced them. Okay, so it is this focus on lifetime value is important, but more importantly, it's important to know what is the cost of acquisition, but what is the value of that customer in a given year? These numbers, once we know, are super valuable. Another mistake I've noticed mortgage brokers do make is a lot of the brokers we speak to, their average loan sizes are way smaller than the loans that are happening out there in the market. And there's a reason for that. When you don't get your marketing right, you're left with the rats and mice of the industry. This is in every industry. The people who are more desperate and cost conscious are the people you deal with if you don't get this marketing right. All right, so I'm going to teach you this growth hacking methodology. They're called the R metrics or the pirate metrics, okay? Why are they called the pirate metrics? So let's find out. Are you ready? I'm going to play a game, okay? By the way, we all know if you want to learn something really valuable, retention is important, but retention comes through repetition, okay? So I'm going to play a game and I'm going to ask you to say something out loud. And you might be embarrassed thinking, oh my goodness, there are others listening to me. But do not worry about who else is listening. They don't matter. We are obsessed about growth of our businesses. We don't care what the audience think. All right? So play this game with me. Let's repeat. Acquisition. Are you saying it? Acquisition. Say it with me. Go to the chat and type it if you can. Activation, retention, revenue, referral. I want you to remember them. This has to get ingrained in our system. Otherwise, you're going to forget this after you leave here. Acquisition, activation, retention, revenue, referral. Okay? And keep saying that because I want you to remember each step. We can't miss a step if we want to get this stuff right. So let's now go. I'll teach you a trick how to remember it. Let's go and repeat with me the first letters of every one of those 5 points. A, R, R. Did you do that? A, R, R. Now you know why they're called the pirate metrics. Sorry about my dad jokes, but I just wanted to find a way of you remembering it. This is why these are called the pirate metrics, because of AARRR. All right, let's get to it. Here's a pirate. And the first step of the pirate metrics, as you know, is acquisition. How do you drive traffic to your website? So getting traffic is a recipe. It's not a single ingredient. The recipe needs to be customized to your business situation. All right, so remember that. Getting traffic is a recipe. It's a mix of certain elements. You have to find the right mix that works for your industry and your business. So the questions to ask is, which platforms should we use? How many people should our brand reach? Your brands have to reach tens of thousands of people if you're serious about growth each month. How do you do that? So let's go and check out. Email, planned emails where you use an email marketing system, and you could say a fortnightly email, a weekly email. If you think about it, a lot of small business owners are really scared to send emails. But think of it, Qantas, Amazon, all the big businesses send regular emails, and this is how they communicate with the audience. Think of any large, successful business, forget large, successful business, they'll use email very effectively. Social media, you know this stuff, paid and organic. Why? When it comes to business, organic social media does not work as effectively anymore. So you need to make sure you use paid media, but also if you're using organic, you need to learn how to boost it correctly with the right guidance. No point just willy-nilly putting social media. A lot of people just put social media posts. That does not work. It has to be done to a strategy. It has to be done based on your customer persona, knowing your customer's persona to a customer buying cycle based on that content strategy that I shared with you. If you don't do it that way, don't do anything. SEO on page and off page. Again, SEO is a very powerful tool. A lot of people don't do it right. SEO is about making sure your website is structured correctly. The language, the user experience, the way who will host your website, how it has been built, all that is super crucial. That's called the on-page SEO, and there is some stuff that needs to be done on the back end. So it has to be built professionally. This stuff is not DIY jobs, ladies and gentlemen. And you need to do the off-page SEO. That is about making sure you write content, and I'll share some stuff with you. I'll give you a system how to get this stuff right. The social media and SEO are crucial. Google AdWords, ladies and gentlemen, anybody today can go to Google and do an ad. It's super simple. Anybody today can go to Meta and do an ad. But if you don't, but although they are really simple to set up an ad, it's really hard because of the complexity of the platforms to get results from the money you spend. So a lot of people, business owners, are losing money doing this the wrong way. So before you go into Google and Meta, get some help. You need subject matter experts to do it if you want results. And there are a lot of people who claim to be experts. Be careful. Partnerships are super important. The reason you're here is because we have partnered with FBAA, and we partner with the National Retail Association. We partnered with the Master Locksmith Association. We partnered with so many other industry associations to make sure we take our information forward, and these partnerships are very fruitful. In our third year, in fact, the New South Wales government appointed us as the digital specialist for all of small business in New South Wales. Why was that? Because we did use these growth hacking techniques and more to get our name across, even being a very young business, when there are thousands of other businesses who probably can say they do this stuff. Of course, you have to know what you're doing, and of course, ladies and gentlemen, interview influencers. You go to a YouTube channel, you see so many influencers we have interviewed. We've interviewed the CEO of Google, marketing director of Facebook and Meta, if you want to call them that. We've interviewed the federal minister for small business, the deputy prime minister. Why? We want to ask all these people, get the best out of them, and share that content with our audience. Public relations, what opportunities have you got to get media? Again, we use media powerfully from the time we were about 2 years old. We haven't done that lately because I think we need to start doing it. All right, so I'm going to show you a tool. This tool is called, it's the NetStripes platform. It's an AI-driven platform that I'm going to show you how to create stuff. Let me show you what stuff. All right, where is this? All right. So it's called this is our NetStripes platform. How do you get there? You can come to our NetStripes website, netstripes.com, and you go and fill in your name. So give your business name, etc. Give it a password and click on it. Okay, and then you'll get an email, or you'll probably go right through that. Once you register, by the way, if you're having any issue with registering, let bc@netstripes.com know. They'll sort it out for you immediately, and let Jen know as well. Okay, let me go to the tool though. So what this tool does is, remember I said you need to know who your customer personas are. You need to really understand your customer personas. And as a result of that, to do that, you need to really get your customer strategy right. You need to know who your top value clients are. what they pay you, and how can you win more of the top value customers. This is the important stuff. So to do that, we have created what's called a digital strategy blueprint. And what you do is it'll ask you a bunch of questions and you go and fill it. And then, so at the beginning, it's very easy. Jonathan Fallon, Dreamspan Loans. I've just used a fictitious one here, guys. This is not true, right information. Mortgage broking, Dreamspan Loans Australia, and I go save and next. Okay. Then it'll ask me who's your ideal customer. Now, your ideal customer, tell us your number one customer in the last 12 to 18 months who have delivered the highest revenue or margin for your business. So in your case, you guys are mortgage brokers. Out of all the clients I've dealt, it doesn't have to be 12 to 18 months, the last 36 months, who was the customer who paid me top dollar? I loved working with them. They loved working with me. And I'd love to win more of those customers. Right. And what are you doing here? It's making you think, and you go and type in here. And it'll ask you, what did they do? What's their profession? What did you do for them? Why they came to you? And the idea is it'll ask you questions seeking patterns, okay? And what it does is what they loved about what you did. What did they love about what you did? You got to think about it. And you might say, the reason they came to me is that they went to the banks and the bank said, you're over, you're too leveraged. We can't give you any loans. You're maxed out. They went to another mortgage broker, another mortgage broker said the same thing, but came to me. I went and spoke to my BDM. I went and spoke to lots of other lenders, and we found a system how to accommodate them. Okay. And also they were running a business and they didn't have the financials. So I went to an accountant, and I made sure I used their management accounts as opposed to their audited accounts. So it could be so what did they love about? Because they loved that I got their loan when nobody else could get it. And I also got it in a few weeks, and I saved them money. What is the best description of this customer? So the best description in here, you could say they were, they were professional couple. Okay. How much was this client worth for you? How much is the customer worth for you in a 5-year period? Why is it asking you that question? It's helping you to calculate the LTV. Remember, I said you need to be able to calculate the LTV, and it's helping you to calculate the LTV. So similarly, you do another ideal customer 2. By the way, I've just filled some information here. Ideal customer 3. And as you can see, this person is a foreman. And ideal customer 4 and ideal customer 5 I haven't filled. Okay, so there were 5 is fantastic, 4 is enough. Okay, so looking at this now, the idea is looking at that. I'm asking you to go through and say, how would you now categorize who your ideal customer? Who is your ideal customer? It should be who is your ideal customer moving forward based on your answers above. So it says professional, couples, and self-employed. Can you see? You've been able to see the patterns of those people. What is the biggest problem your ideal customer has, which you help them to resolve? So you said overcome the challenges of obtaining correctly structured loans. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going through this. Once you fill this up, what you can do is in the back end, one of our advisors can have a look at it and then use artificial intelligence to improve it. Plus, at the end of it, you can download your digital strategy blueprint, and it will give you guidance in terms of your LTV, that's your lifetime value of your customer, etc. Once you've done that, you can now go use that information and do a Facebook post, Instagram post, LinkedIn post. So why, you might say, why the hell do I have to go and fill this? You don't really have to fill it, but if you fill that, you will, when you come to the blueprint, you'll get a roadmap or a blueprint in how to run your business really clearly. You'll get a blueprint in how to communicate with your customers, how to create content, all that will be done. So let me show you how to create content. Now, all of you know the Facebook platform is very different to the Instagram platform. And you also know the Instagram platform is very different to LinkedIn because the users are completely different. LinkedIn is a more professionals platform. Instagram is more for younger folk, not really young, but younger folk, and Facebook is for older folk, but a social platform, as opposed to LinkedIn, which is more for professional purposes. So let's go to Facebook. I go and say, wow me. By the way, I've already created some posts here, so it's showing me all the posts I have created. If I want to go and have a look at it, you can create. But for this purpose, I'm going to create a new post. So it knows that I'm a mortgage broker in Sydney. Why does it know me? Now, by the way, you might think, why do I have to do this? I can go to OpenAI or ChatGPT and do it. If you go to ChatGPT, ChatGPT doesn't know who you are. But this system now, because we put in the data, it knows about us. I'm a mortgage broker in Sydney. I want to provide expert advice to those professional families looking for let's go and say a home loan. Now I'm going to say, click here to generate post. Look at that. It's given me your Facebook post for the next 5 days. Are you a professional family looking to buy a dream home in Sydney? Let me help you navigate the world of home loans and find the best options for you. And it even gives you the hashtags. And it even gives you little icons, that you can use, okay? And the best part is, how long did that take? And look at this, planning for the future. Let's discuss how you can secure a competitive home loan rate for a growing family in Sydney. Mortgage advice, family finance. Let's read the third one. Want to make sure you're getting the best deal on your home loan? Trust me to compare options that find the perfect fit for your professional family. If you didn't like it, you can change that. Or if you didn't like any of that, you can click here to generate more posts and it'll regenerate it. Now, the best part about this, ladies and gentlemen, which ChatGPT does not do, is you can save this. ChatGPT will save it, but every search will be on that. You won't be able to know which search is which, right? Now we have saved that post. It is, there you go. On 12th of June, and all those posts are there. You want to check it out and use it again. All you have to do is that. Pretty cool, eh? All right. So now let's go and check something else. Say let's go and do something on Instagram. So go to Instagram, create a post, and here we say, I'm a mortgage broker in Sydney. I want to provide expert advice to professional families looking for in this case, we can say investment property loan. Again, say it's all, you don't even have to type normally the prompt, you have to go and type in OpenAI, right? In this, the prompt is given. You don't have to type anything. I only went and changed that. You want to change this from professional families to self-employed? Let's do that. Click here to generate. Pretty cool. I'm excited. I hope you're as excited as I am. Look at that. It's given the 5 posts, but here, because Instagram is a very image-focused Instagram is very image focused. So it gives you even an image ID, an image of a beautiful investment property with a sale in here. So how do you find that? Let's go to Google. Right. So by the way, I wouldn't just go to Google and take these because they could be licensed. Okay. So I would probably, if I have stuff on my website, I'll use them, or I'll find something like Pixabay, which Pixabay is royalty free. Okay. All right. So there you go. Your job is so much easier. So post to self-employed, look at this, self-employed and ready to grow your property portfolio. Let me guide you through the process of obtaining an investment property loan tailored to meet your needs. All right. So by the way, and when you save it, that is saved, you can come back to it. And if you wanted to reuse anything that you created in the past, you can go and do that as well. Now let's look at this. By the way, in the future, we're improving this stuff. You will get the images coming through as well. So watch this space. So you can do the LinkedIn post very similarly, but more importantly, if you wanted to improve your SEO, look at this. Create a new blog. So it says this: you're an expert copywriter that educates readers and also influences the reader towards a home loan. So let's say home loan services, home finance, home, and in let's say home loan services. Please give us 8 blog topics we can use based on our elevator pitch below, right? So where is the elevator pitch coming from? There you go. It's even, I didn't give the elevator pitch, right? I could have given an elevator pitch. By the way, the blueprint, when you download, your elevator pitch will be there, okay? And you can cut and paste that elevator pitch and it'll write it perfectly for that. I should have, here you go. Towards services, towards loan services. Click here to generate. So what it's doing is it's generated it generated a elevator pitch and 8 topics. Why is it generating 8 blog topics? Because it wants you to have a choice of which blog topic to write for today. So navigating the home buying process. This is how you want to be educative, right? So now I've selected that and I say, it says blog title, copy and paste a selected title from the list. So I'm pasting it here. See what happens now. It'll take some time to create it. So in the meantime, I'm going back to my content strategy we did earlier. Remember, all this stuff here is industry and product neutral information. We got to create, how-to blogs and articles and ebooks, educational events. An ebook really is a collection of blogs that can be made into an ebook. Are you with me? Okay, so here's a fabulous way I'm teaching this. This is about the blogs can be created for here, and ebooks can be created. All this unaware and interested, if you notice, was 75% of the buying audience is there. Okay, so using this NetStripe system, now you can very easily go and do your content strategy. Here is your blog. that has been written without you wasting any time. So all you have to now do is to go and read it and improve it, okay? You didn't even have to come up with the blog. You didn't even have to think of the blog topics. It wrote the blog topics. Now, if you really select 5 of these and they can be put together to become an ebook. By the way, our ebooks are not created like that. They were way before before we created this platform or Chat GPT, but they are really relevant. So go and read them. And now I can go and save it. There goes my blog. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you will log into it just so that you know how to log into it. You can start from here. I'm not sure whether, yeah, so go at the big, I think there is a payment to do, but don't worry about the payment. If you don't have to get access, if you want access, all of you who are watching this will make sure you get free access. The person you need to know, by the way, is my colleague, Jen. Jen is helping me on this webinar. She is the conduit to everybody at NetStripes. If you want any resource, but they're an expert or some information like this, talk to Jen. She will help you. She's a customer experience leader, a specialist, and she's very, very competent, and she'll help you. We've done this. We've done that. All right, so this is where we were. So ladies and gentlemen, here is a platform that can really help you to leapfrog your competition. So use this platform wisely, use it. By the way, there are other benefits there. Under Futurize Foundation, there's a learning module that's really powerful. The blueprint will blueprint will help you to make sure your strategy is right. I told you many businesses get their strategy wrong. They don't get their goals right. It'll help you to get all of that right. We spoke about SEO. Islamic, this is one of our clients, a finance broker who came to us when they just started. Today, they are competing with these guys. These companies are like 20, 25 years old, I think between 15 and 25. One of them has a banking license, but Mizan Wealth is often, by the way, the SEO comes like second. I've never seen them first for Islamic Super, but I've seen them second, third, etc. So today, this is when I checked in the morning. So this is their website. Again, you got to make sure your landing pages are good. All right. So what we did earlier was acquisition, the first A. Now we go to the second A. How do users have a great first experience? This is when they come to your website. Do they have a great first experience? When they meet you, do they have a great first experience? When they visit your office, do they have a great first experience? This is all about activation. But most amount of people come to your website. So how do we make sure when somebody takes that action that you decided as important, that we wanted to drive traffic to your website in this case, did they have a great experience? Do you have a world-class website where they come and say, this is exactly what I want? Okay, it's that aha moment they want. Like when you saw that Mizan Wealth website, they feel that that's exactly what I want, Islamic finance. Okay, you need to activate them. You need to make sure they sign up or call us or download an ebook or something like that. Okay, we don't want them to come and leave. Majority will come, they'll have a really good look and leave. Sorry. A majority of websites, 89% of websites do not pass the 2 to 4 second test. I again covered that at last week's webinar, and they come in and they leave immediately, okay? Because people are very time poor, they have very small attention spans. In the 2 to 4 seconds they're there, and I did a practical test with you guys. If they don't see it, they go, okay? So they have to get that aha moment, make signups easy, user behavior tracking, etc. All this has to be super easy. Landing pages must be simple, call to action, everything. So here's a landing page of Stellar Finance. This is a client of ours. Go in there. As soon as you come in here, it says mortgage brokers for the successful professional. There's no, you don't have to read a lot. As you come in here, you know what it is. Then it says fund your home and investments. With our expertly crafted strategies and negotiated solutions while saving your time. That's what a professional wants. They don't want to mess around. Tell them what you do. Look at their logo. It's really clear. Menu is not in the way. There's nothing to compete with the logo. And so you need to so if you think about here, it says, get your landing pages simple. Keep them simple. Improve boring pages. When this client Stellar Finance came to us, the website was really hard to read. This front area that I'm showing you was not clear enough. The messaging wasn't clear. Even recently we noticed that she had changed it and we wanted to make sure it was so clear. And you've got to make it easy for them to take action and sign up, and they need to go, aha, that's what I want. When they see this, they need to get familiarity, and that image must resonate with them. And so this looks like a successful professional. When they read this, they must say, that's what I want. When they read this piece, they must say, that's exactly what I want. That's how you give the aha moment. By the way, if you want to improve your landing pages, right now in the starting, I think last week, for 2 weeks, we're having a promotional campaign because some of our associations, we work with industry associations, requested, because businesses are finding it a bit difficult in the economy to get them really boosted. And this is probably the second pricing event or special offer event we're having in the last 4 years. So we rarely have it. 15% off your website development, SEO, and tech support. By the way, look at this website. See how clear it is. Okay, that's exactly what I mean. You've got to get your landing pages clear. And this is for web development, SEO, and even the tech support if you need it, up to the 19th of June. Prices are there. Again, you go to that site, you will find the prices. Retention. Now, most people will come to our website, have a look, and go. By the way, I might need about 10 minutes extra because I have so much to cover. I'll go as fast as I can, but I have such valuable information. Try and stay to the end. If you have to go, that's fine. So retention is about people come to our website, they have a great first experience, but they still want to check your competition. So they go and check your competition, but unfortunately, they get caught up with life, children, work, family, etc., and they forget to come back to our brand. So we must have ways of getting them to come back and never forgetting our brand. There are multiple ways of doing it. And so this is about how do you keep prospects and customers engaged, and how do you ensure brand is always top of mind. When we were new, when we were in our second year, we did this thing called retarget advertising. And one day, we didn't know why. It was like mid-second year, we were invited. This was an amazing event at the Star, and we were invited to become a judge at this event, and also we had to go and present the awards. We didn't know why they invited us, but we had to give the digital award, and we thought, why are they inviting us? What happened was they had come to one of our events, and then they had seen our retarget advertising. Wherever they went, whether they went to Forbes or Sydney Morning Herald, they saw our retarget advertising. And one of the guys who was organizing that event, the main guy, called me and said, Dinesh, we'd love to have you as a judge and present one of the awards. Will you be happy to do it? I was delighted to do it because we're just starting the business, and any publicity is great publicity. So ladies and gentlemen, as a small business, any one of you can do this, right? Only thing is you need to make sure the ad setup is right, it's professional, design is professional, otherwise you shoot yourself on the foot. Here's a client of ours, Smart Home Loans, Future Growth Finance. look at that. Sydney Morning Herald above the masthead. Here is another ad. So you need different sizes and shapes of ads to make sure you're presented well. But look at the power of this, the financial review. So this is a growth hack, ladies and gentlemen, right? And they're not expensive to do, by the way. So these are really nice growth hacks you can do to look great. Typically, they'll see Amex or Commonwealth Bank here, but instead they see your business. So your clients see this, and I saw, look at that. This is in Drive. Here you go. This is in realestate.com. How powerful is it? They come to your website and they're in realestate.com trying to buy a property, and this Commonwealth Bank is here and Smart Home Loans. It's a new business, right? So that's how powerful it is. So that is a really good growth hack. So retention growth hacks are retargeting, as I showed you, because when you're doing retargeting, you don't need their email address. They only have to come to your website and leave. And from that point, your brand will never be forgotten. Email, to do email, of course, you need to have their email addresses. And if you have their email addresses, you can have a really good drip campaign, etc. Again, we can help you with this stuff. You can do what's called custom exclusives. I won't go into that. But during difficult times, you can increase the value you deliver to customers and finding ways of how you deliver better value and more value and really lay that red carpet out to them. Revenue. This is about knowing your financial goal clearly, because a lot of businesses, as I mentioned, are not focused on the financial goal. And any marketing must focus on what's the new business goal for the year. So if you're a finance broker, you might say, I want to earn 250K of new business. What is your average loan size? So how do you work towards about 1.2 million? You need to position your business right. If you don't position your business right, you'll be getting the sub 500 or sub 700 type of loans. But if you really want to grow, you have to go $1 to $3 million loans, okay? So in here, if you do 1.2 million, roughly you get about 10K in the first year plus trail commission from that loan. And how many clients do we need to win? How many 10Ks do you need to win to get to 250? That's 25. Next question to ask is, if you speak to 10 customers, how many will you win? A lot of people tell me I can win 7, I can win 10. Say you won 5. Then we know we need to get 50 quality leads. Now, so these are the numbers that you put in there. So to get our revenue number of 250K, we need to do 25 loans. And we know that if we meet 10 qualified leads, we close 5. So we need 50 qualified leads. So to get 50 qualified leads, how many full leads do we need to get? So that's what we use Google Analytics for, right? So I won't go through this. This is a random one. They have what's called a bounce rate of 74%. That means 2/3 of the traffic that comes here leaves like that. Now, that's not good. So a lot of your websites are like that. So make sure you check and make sure it's not like, and ensure it's not like that. Look at this for NetStripes, right? We are closing 40% of the users that came in. We are closing there, and that's really valuable in that. And then if you keep going here, out of that, we are closing in this is in a given week. We're getting 287 transactions. So a lot of people are coming, but we are getting about 35, 36%, 40% earlier. In this case, it has dropped to 33%, okay? So this is what we are trying to drive. So you need to know exactly, based on these metrics, based on those metrics, how do you drive these leads? How do you drive the traffic? And what are the strategies to drive traffic? Okay. And then you have absolute focus on your financial goals. And when the financial goals, you know, there are other revenue growth hacks you can do. I won't go through all that right now because of time. Your pricing strategy must be right. Some of you, I know a lot of you don't charge for your service because you're paid by the banks, but others do add a professional services charge. There can be annual payments. You can, make sure at-risk tagging is really important to make sure customers who you think are at risk of leaving you and you can't refinance them, you do some extra servicing, and all that can be done really effectively through technology. The other is referral campaigns. Viral growth really lies in referrals, not these referrals that you guys are used to getting through friends and family, just like that. How do you create a referral system that is viral? Okay. How do you get one? Dropbox did this the best, guys. They had a referral system which they use. So if somebody shared your Dropbox, for them to see what you shared, they had to go and become join Dropbox. So if I shared it with 10 people, 10 people joined them, so they grew virally. Professional services businesses can't quite do that, but there are other ways of you doing that. So and it takes time. You need to test various scenarios, and you need specialist advice for that. Dropbox uses a double loop referral program that can be used for professional services businesses. We use one-to-many partnerships. You're here because of FBAA. Last week, we had another event with another organization. So this is how we've built these one-to-many relationships. You can use links in your email, affiliate programs, ask for shares. There's so many things you can do. These are some of our partners we work with. Again, this is the one-to-many partnerships I'm talking about, okay? By the way, ladies and gentlemen, I know some of you have to go and all of you have to go. I won't take too much time, but thank you for your attendance. This is a quick summary of what you do. But the biggest problem I think a lot of you have is to implement this. So if you need help, talk to our team. But because you're busy, a lot of the time you find it hard to do it because you struggle to get a return on marketing spend. A lot of you, that's the biggest problem you have because of the surging complexity of platforms. Also, knowledge is a big issue, and because you don't know the telltale signs when you see it, you can't read Google Analytics and say, hey, that's a problem I need to fix. And the best expertise is available in typically these large companies which are unaffordable, and that's actually why we built NetStripes. And we've created Jen will share this on the link. We've created a program, we call it the Digital Advertising Launchpad for your business. And it is a growth hacking system using the AARRR metrics, but we use Facebook and Instagram ads, Google ads. You can use the NetStripes ecosystem, the platform I showed you, and this is done with professional guidance. And they're not expensive to do. And we have systems from 121. The platform Jen's sharing starts at $375 a week, but we also have another system for social media marketing, which costs $125 a week. But these are all with professional guidance, and we all use that AARRR metric system, okay? So guys, don't go without telling us whether you like this session. Make sure you sign up for one-on-one sessions that you have so that you can ask any questions after this session as well. And we'll be delighted to serve you in any way possible. You don't have to pay for all our services. This webinar is free. A lot of our content on YouTube, on the ebooks are free. You can use the Zelle AI system, as I mentioned. So all the very best. Thank you for joining us today. And all we want to do is to help you catch that digital wave. We know the businesses that catch the digital wave, they don't make a living, they make a killing. So how can you catch that digital wave? First step, as usual, is really to get started, book one of these strategy meetings, ask the relevant questions about customer strategy, service strategy, etc. How do you build your value proposition? Again, I showed you the NetStripes platform. We call it Zelle AI, but NetStripes platform to really do this stuff so that you get your messaging right and it's strong. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed it. Please don't go without telling giving us your feedback. If you found it boring or you didn't like anything, tell us that, because how can we improve? We love your feedback. Every piece of feedback is super valuable, and we don't say it's bad feedback or good feedback. It's great feedback. Okay. So please don't go without giving us that feedback. Thank you so much.